I remember back around middle school, I had this huge crush on this girl all year long, and I was super scared to say anything. So I had my best friend come along with me, and because I had no balls, and we walked up to her. She was like with all her friends, and I had him say something like, "Hey, my friend thinks you're absolutely gorgeous. What do you think about going out with him? Giving him a shot, giving him a chance. What you think?" And me being a straight cookie dough, I was just sitting there like... And her exact words, bro, I'm not even fabricating, was, "Ugh." Him? Hell no, he's ugly. That's exactly what she said, bro. And me and my friend, we look at each other, and everything's just silent. It's so awkward, bro. And to break the silence, I guess my friend thought it would be funny, and he said, he looked at me and he said, "Well, I tried, Dre, so give me the $5 like you promised." Because I had just promised him like a couple minutes before that I would like give him, you know, some lunch money or something like that if he would help me out. And now I'm just sitting here looking at him like, why, bro? Anyways, as years go by, I end up meeting a new friend named Roger, a much better friend. He became like an older brother to me, and he taught me some things about grooming and how to improve your looks as a man. And I listened to every single word he said because I never wanted to feel like I felt like in that moment. I never wanted to go through something like that ever again, where a girl literally says to my face, "Hell no, you're ugly." So today, my goal is to kind of be like that older brother to you and provide you with some grooming habits that you can do instantly to improve your looks. I know I give a lot of like long-term advice, like, yeah, if you just diet for the next 3 months and then you can get a super nice chiseled face, which yeah, is good advice, but with today's video, I want to give you stuff that you can do instantly right on the spot before you head out. See, my goal isn't to make you like a straight 10 out of 10 because for most of us, that's unachievable. I'm just being honest. I want to be real with you guys. I'm not here to like tickle your ears and tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. But with these tips today, you could literally say you're a 3 out of 10. You're not that great looking. You could plop yourself up a couple notches to like a 5 out of 10. And then of course, like you can easily hit 6 out of 10 by the end of the day just by good style and then implementing the art of being chill and stuff like that. And I know some of you might be thinking, "Oh, but Dre, 5 out of 10 still isn't very good." Yeah, but if you could make yourself 20% better within a few minutes, I mean, why wouldn't you take that opportunity? That's 20% more better looking women that you previously wouldn't have been able to get. And so if you become a 5 out of 10, you could easily pull a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 chick. And same with her. If she's a good girl, she's loyal, she's wifey material, that pushes her to like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, which is amazing, bro. And you would have never had this opportunity if it wasn't for implementing the things that I'm about to talk about. And look at me now, bro. Like I started off as a straight 3 out of 10. Now, if I had to rate myself, I think I'd give myself like a good solid 7 out of 10. Hope I'm not being too generous. A lot of you guys are like, "Oh, nah, Dre, that girl in school is freaking right, bro. You're freaking ugly, bro. Stop fooling yourself." Nah, but look, bro, me being what I think I'm a, 7 out of 10 or whatever, I've been able to pull myself a straight dime. And the cherry on top, she loves Jesus. Doesn't get much better than that. So number 1, we got messy hairstyles. Now, out of all the polls I've ever researched online, out of any look, it's always came down to women preferring messy hairstyles. That's what they found most attractive on men. And it's kind of funny because most guys these days are either rocking like overly blow-dried, like fluffy hairstyles, or they're rocking like this super perfectly voluminous hairstyles that are about that tall, and every hair is just perfectly in its place. They spend an hour getting ready like... So something I've been actually doing lately is, of course, going for a messier look, but also kind of going for more of a piecier, edgy finish. Basically meaning when your hair starts kind of forming into those little pieces, causing separation. I know it sounds like kind of cheesy, but it almost kind of gives you like that kind of bad boy look. Opposed to these days, everybody's rocking that e-boy TikToker kind of look, that's real soft and fluffy and kind of feminine. So anyways, if you want to rock something, kind of more closer to my style, something a little bit more edgier, more masculine, because let's face it, I mean, if you're a guy like me, I got kind of like feminine features, right? So I need all the help I can get. So usually I'll use a low shine clay, but actually lately I've been using just a straight pomade. Feel free to use whatever product you desire. If you already have a go-to product, then you can just kind of skip this part. But the cool thing about the product I use is that it has extreme hold. And the thing with products that have extreme hold, like this one does, usually, the hold is so good, but that makes the product very sticky, very tacky, right? And so to actually get it in your hair, it's very difficult. Sometimes you'll even like pull out chunks of your hair, bro. So what's really cool with this pomade, just if you guys are interested, right when you mix it into your hands, you could literally run it under a faucet. And once you do this, you're able to easily just put it through your hair like butter. And then after like 20 seconds or so, that water actually soaks up. And then it goes back to being tacky again to give you that extreme hold. That way you're not struggling, fighting, trying to get that product all up in your hair. So it's kind of a cool feature. Which leads me now into number 2, which is a masculine haircut. Now we've talked about styling thus far. Now we're gonna actually kind of dive into the actual cut. Obviously there's a lot of cool hairstyles out there. If you guys have been a long time subscriber of mine, you've seen that I've done pretty much everything you could think of, and now I've ended up here, something kind of a little more simple, a little more masculine. And so I encourage you guys to do just something kind of similar. Just stick to something basic, short on the top, skin fade on the sides. Going for like big voluminous looks or even like longer hairstyles like I'd previously had a couple years ago, these are usually going to look best on guys that are either number 1 lean or number 2 that are already very masculine looking. Again, if you're like me and you got a lot of feminine features, you got kind of like a smaller jaw, smaller chin. Obviously long hair wasn't my best look. I mean, maybe it looked okay because I was like, you know, pretty chiseled, but the look I'm rocking now is obviously a lot more attractive to most, you know, the majority of women. Like literally, if I was to show a picture of myself from a couple years ago to myself right now, and if you were to show that around to just random women, they'd probably say they think my version right now is obviously more attractive. Anyways, so hey, look, if you're a single dude and you're not as masculine as say like Chris Hemsworth, or you're not as chiseled as Timothy Chalamet, then I'd say just keep things simple, you know, with a cut kind of like how mine is. I typically ask my barber to give me a high skin fade on the sides and back, and then we'll always leave the top around 1.5 inches, 2 inches max. Number 3, beard sculpting. Now, obviously, if you got a beard, that's a huge plus. A beard does for a man what makeup does for a woman. So if you can actually grow a beard, you know, the details matter 100%. And of course, you're gonna wanna try things like tapering your beard. It's the same thing how like we taper our hair, right? You can also taper your beard and you can kind of like give yourself that like Giga Chad type of chin. However, if you are like me, again, you know, with like very feminine features and you got like a, you know, I can't really grow a beard. I got like a real patchy beard. But at the same time, I don't wanna have a clean shaven face. I'm 30 years old, bro. I still look like I'm like 19. So what I do is just keep things real neatly trimmed. I keep just enough hair to keep it just a little rugged. Now I do trim different parts of my face with different lengths, but I'll get into that in just a second. Firstly, I gotta tell you guys that I've been using the best tool lately, bro. The best. Like, you guys know I don't overhype stuff, but no, this is hyped, bro. This is the best. This right here. This is the new Beard Hedger by Manscaped, which is today's sponsor. But you guys already know, like, I'm not gonna promote anything unless it's the best. Over the last decade, I've hopped around from all types of different brands as beard trimmers, and they've all been okay, not great. This one's great. By turning this wheel here that you see on the handle, it literally gives you 20 different size options for the guard. That way you don't have like all these random guards just sitting around that you gotta constantly switch out. It's all in one at the twist of a handle, so it's really nice. It's waterproof, cordless, and it has a titanium coated stainless steel blade with a 60-minute runtime on a single charge. This way you don't have to double dip and use your lawnmower for both your balls and your face. And of course you can do what I did, which is bundle up and get yourself the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, which includes the Beard Hedger trimmer and a travel case. It's also got the beard oil, the beard shampoo, beard conditioner, and the beard balm, and some free gifts as you can see here. So be sure to check out the link that I have for you down in the description below and get 20% off plus free shipping today. Now going back to what I personally do to make my patchy facial hair actually look pretty decent, pretty good, is I turn my beard trimmer to a 4, which is pretty short, and I trim away my most thickest areas like my neck, my chin, and my mustache. And then I'll switch my trimmer to a size 6 on the guard, and then I'll go ahead and I'll trim the sides. The reason why I leave my hair on the sides of my face a little bit longer is because those are my weakest areas. And if I keep trimming those areas super short, it's never gonna allow the hair on my cheeks to get thicker. We've always been taught that if you shave those areas, that in return, they'll get thicker over time, and that's actually not the case. That's like a full-blown lie. In order for those areas to grow, you need to allow them to grow. So that way it can continue to get thicker over time. Anyways, after I do that, I'll then take the guard completely off, kind of trim around those tight areas around the nose, and then to really shape things up and make it look clean, I'll always shave the hair that runs down my mouth. The reason I do this is because not only does it look good, but I feel like if I don't, my mouth it looks a little small. So by doing this, it actually makes my mouth and smile look a little bigger, in my opinion. I'll then take some of that beard conditioner, not that I need it because I don't have a beard, but because it also works as a really good moisturizer for me. And my wife loves this scent. She can't get enough of the smell. And as you can see, I'm left with a pretty nice and clean stubble. So comparing to how I originally looked this morning when I woke up versus now, here's a before and after. Obviously, as you can see, I've boosted my looks a couple notches easily. Number 4, Pinterest boards. Now, this has been a really cool tool for me that I've used over the years. And you know, it's cool watching YouTubers like myself, and it's cool to take notes and, you know, get some cool tips and stuff. But for me personally, where I've had the most, you know, growth as far as improving myself, improving my looks, my style, is actually just going on Pinterest and looking up, you know, your favorite celebrities or dudes that kind of fall in line with more of your style, your kind of look that you have, and taking those looks, taking those pictures that they have on Pinterest and pinning them to a specific board that you have. For example, like one dude I look up to and I really like his style and it kind of aligns with mine is Tom Hardy. And so I'll look at, you know, the types of clothes he rocks, I'll look at the type of hairstyles that he's wearing at the moment, and I'll pin them to a specific board so that way I can always kind of draw inspiration from that rather than always going to YouTube and looking at, you know, listening to all this advice that you hear from all your favorite YouTubers. I mean, yeah, those are some good advice, but a lot of those tips and advice, a lot of it is from their experience, what's worked best for them. And obviously, you know, something that's worked really great for them personally might not work for you as an individual. And so Pinterest has just been really cool for me over the years, and it's a lot more fun. I gain a lot more inspiration. I get a lot more ideas from it versus, you know, just following different blogs and YouTube videos. So I encourage you guys to do the same. Look up some dudes that you really like, some guys that you look up to, whether that's like David Beckham, Zac Efron, Chris Hemsworth, whoever, Jason Momoa. Look up some guys that really embrace their masculinity and draw inspiration from it. Pin them to your boards so that way when you're about to go out or you got a big event coming up, you can always go back to that board and just draw some quick inspiration from it. Like honestly, bro, a lot of these YouTubers I see, yeah, it's good advice, but like they're telling you to like wear suits, and it's like I don't want to wear suits, bro. Even if it's an event. If anything, I'll wear like a coat over my gym outfit or something like that, because that's more my style. Smart gym wear, I guess you could say. In this way, I still look really good. Nobody can tell that I'm underdressed, and I'm super comfy at the same time. And the only way I've found out about this style and I've kind of embraced this as my own is because of the inspiration that I've drawn off Pinterest. Versus like, you know, if I just listened to a YouTuber, I would have had just some cliche, you know, suit and tie kind of look that I was super uncomfortable in. And then also, like, I don't mean to keep on going on with this rant, but like YouTubers are also telling you to like, you know, wear some nice matte clay and put it in your hair, and, you know, make sure you got like a whole bunch of volume in it, and like finger comb it off to the side, which it looks fine. It looks good, I guess you can say. But like, I don't want to have a hairstyle like that, bro. I don't want to look like just like a good nice guy, right? Like a good little gentleman guy. I don't want that, bro. Like I want a more masculine appearance. I want something a little more edgy. But the only way I've actually found out about like PCer, edgier hairstyles, right, is from Pinterest. Actually doing a little more research and looking at what, you know, masculine guys are actually rocking. And that's why like all the other YouTubers, you're not going to hear advice like that because they're not doing that kind of research, you know? Now, this last habit that I'm about to go into isn't necessarily a grooming habit, but it still has to do with your face, and that's basically face posture. That's number 5. So check it out. When I was younger, I had a friend of mine. He had like a really chiseled face growing up, like crazy jawbone, cheekbones were nuts. Even like this part of his brow line was like fierce and intense. And I remember everywhere we went, he'd always get like so much attention from just ladies, people in general, and I would always get like low-key jealous. I'm just, you know, being honest. And so I remember I was 16, and I remember I was like, I'm gonna try and like force my face to look more kind of fierce like his. Like I want people to, you know, look at me and like give me attention too. And so I remember I'd make my eyebrows like more intense, and I'd kind of suck in my cheeks and like look like that. So lame. But check it out. Same goes with like, you know, we're always talking about as men having better body posture, right? And I think the same kind of goes for your face as well. If you're walking around and you just have, you know, you have no self-awareness whatsoever, and you're always just kind of like, just like looking like a freaking dud. I mean, honestly, this is bad facial posture, bro. And so I remember when I was doing this, I was overly doing it, obviously, when I was young because I was trying to look like my friend. But over the years, I kind of kept up with that, and I've allowed myself to just naturally have kind of good facial posture now, just because I've trained myself. I've trained my face to have a certain look when I'm out in public. And honestly, bro, a lot of guys are doing this more than you think. Again, going back to like a guy like Tom Hardy that I kind of look up to. If you see in this interview right here, look at his face, bro. Look at how intense it is, how fierce it is. And that's because he knows what he's doing, bro. He knows what kind of presence he needs to give off. And so I can promise you this, bro, he's trained his face to, you know, have more of an intense kind of look, right? He's self-aware, he is. I mean, obviously, he's on camera, he's an actor. And I feel like we kind of need to do the same. So instead of like, just walking around in La La Land, actually start having good facial posture. One thing that I kind of do is just kind of have like a, actually, and you know what I do? I kind of like, I embody my Tom Hardy. I don't mean to, you know, I have a huge man crush. I apologize on that, but I actually kind of embody him. Like I think in a certain scenario, I kind of think to myself like, what would Tom Hardy do in this instance? What would he look like right now? What kind of face posture would he have? And I kind of, honestly, I'm just being real, I kind of do the same. I was telling my friend Ty this the other day, I was like, hey, who's one of your favorite guys? And he's like, Legolas from Lord of the Rings. And I was like, okay, exactly. Look at Legolas from Lord of the Rings. He's intense, bro. His face is always like, I mean, look at it. If you've seen the movie, he's an intense dude. And so I told Ty, I was like, hey, kind of embody that, bro. Whatever circumstance or kind of like whatever environment you're in, embody that Legolas, bro, and it's gonna help you out. It's gonna help your overall facial posture. And I guarantee you, people will be able to take you a little more serious, opposed to if you were always just like walking around like this and just like, So kind of a weird tip, I know, but hey, it works. It's working for me. It's working for my buddies. But hey, anyways, appreciate you guys watching. The Masculine Masterclass is out right now. Get access to it by clicking the link that I have for you down below. You should see it right there. And hey, appreciate you guys. Thumbs up if you dug the video. Hit the notifications button to be informed when I drop new content. And check out this video right here if you want to completely catapult your life as a man and go to that next level. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace always.